Yo, what's going on? We're live and direct in Manchester City Centre. What did Ruben Amorim learn in his shocking Manchester United debut? We're going to talk about it, so let's get straight into it. But if it's the first time you're watching Universal Sports, make sure you do like, comment and subscribe. Let's get 500 likes on this video. Yes, Ruben Amorim, Manchester United manager. All the talk, all the build-up, it's all done and dusted now because his first game in charge, we got dominated by Ipswich, escaped with a point. I want to talk about the things that Ruben Amorim learned because I think for us fans, for all the media, for all the hype, I think that game has put a lot of things into perspective, that this isn't going to be a quick fix. I was one of them. I was excited. You know, you were there when United scored that first goal. I was getting carried away. I was getting excited. I was saying it's going to be 3-4-0. But even though I did call the Marcus Rashford goal, I did say to him, Marcus Rashford's going to score in the first 10 minutes. And that nicely brings me on to the first thing that Ruben Amorim learned against Ipswich as Manchester United manager, and that's Marcus Rashford. For me, Marcus Rashford, I predicted that he was going to start scoring goals. I predicted that this could be the turnaround for Marcus Rashford. A lot of people thinking that apart from the goal, he didn't do much. So there's a question to be had. Rasmus Højlund, we've got Joshua Zirkzee. My thoughts about Joshua Zirkzee is that he's nowhere near good enough for Manchester United. That's my thoughts. But in terms of that striking position, I think Ruben Amorim has learned that he needs somebody else outside the club to lead that line. What do you think?
Yeah, Rashford got the goal, but he wasn't with it for the full 90th minute. He didn't track back. He didn't come back to help the midfielders or the defenders get the ball. He just, I think it was side to side with him, like going that side and the other side. It wasn't more central.
Made a good run for the goal, but I'd say apart from that, he wasn't really in the game. I think he touched the ball 13 times.
Yeah.
So
it's not good enough for a striker. He needs to be.
And I think Højlund is not at the level. Personally, I don't think he's at the level.
Yeah, Højlund needs to improve himself. He's still young. He's still developing. Then you got Sideshow Bob coming on. He didn't do anything as well. So there's a lot to learn from Ruben Amorim for the strikers wise. We do need a goal scorer, proper clinical number 9. I don't think them three are at it now. Rashford could be it or Højlund, but they need to learn it in training and put it to the game. So that's what we're missing, which is why we're not scoring a lot of goals.
Moving on to the next thing that Ruben Amorim learned from this game. So I want to talk about Casemiro. So Casemiro is really interesting because first season, as we know, all Man United fans, we loved him. He was everything that we expected, everything that we wanted as Manchester United fans. We're not used to getting a holding midfielder to us buying a holding midfielder or seeing a holding midfielder. I think since Scholes, since Carrick, since then, that position has been pretty much vacant in terms of our midfield. Casemiro this season started off where he left off last season, struggling. We thought as fans, is it Ten Hag's system that's leaving him on his own too much? His legs are gone. Ruud came in. We've seen an upturn in his performances. He scored a banger against Leicester. I really did think, though, in this game, Ruben Amorim learned that Casemiro and even Eriksen are not the answer for the two centre mids in this 3-4-3. There's too much pressing involved. Casemiro looks nervous. He doesn't want to really commit pressing. He wants to stay back, but that opens up gaps. That's how Ipswich scored. Hutchinson, he got given that gap. Nobody was picking him up. What's your thoughts in terms of the centre midfield area and that debate? Because I think Ruben Amorim's learned that Casemiro and Eriksen are not the answer.
Yeah, Casemiro and Eriksen not the answer. It should be Ugarte and Kobe Menu.
More legs, more technical control there, I think.
If you're watching the game, Ruben Amorim was giving Casemiro instructions to hold his position, keep pressing the players, but Casemiro kept looking back.
Hooked poor Johnny Evans off.
Yeah, Casemiro kept looking back, so he was like scared not to run into that space, then leaves the midfield open. But Ruben Amorim taught to press the players, which he did, but we're still nervous to do that. Eriksen was gone missing in that game. Eriksen was nowhere to be seen. He was there, but didn't have the best games, so that's not going to work. So going forward, Eriksen probably a bench player. Casemiro could work if he plays with Ugarte, but I think Kobe Menu and Ugarte is the answer now going forward.
The next thing Ruben Amorim learned from this game, in my opinion, is around the defence, and more specifically around Luke Shaw. So Martinez missed the game, we know that. De Ligt, I thought, had a really good game. He was quite composed. He was showing leadership qualities as the heart of the three-man defence. Even though I think Mazraoui did well, I think we can play him a bit more further forward. But more specifically, Ruben Amorim learned that Luke Shaw is going to be essential as one of those left centre-backs. Because as soon as he come on, we looked a little bit more tighter. We looked a little bit more composed. Obviously, Shaw's played there before. He's got a left foot. Can we trust Luke Shaw? That's a separate question. But in my opinion, I think Ruben Amorim's learned that Luke Shaw will be essential for plans going forward. What do you think?
Yeah, he can play left centre back or he can play as a wing back as well. Don't forget, we got a lot of defenders. We got too many defenders now. We got Maguire, Lindelof, Johnny Evans, Mazraoui, De Ligt, Martinez. So he's got a lot of players to pick from. But starting-wise, Luke Shaw needs to play as left centre back, Martinez as a centre back, and then right centre back could be Lenny Euro. Oh, I forgot about Lenny Euro. Yeah, got too many defenders, so some will be hooked off this in the summer, and we're going to keep the ones that he can trust in. I think Lenny Euro, when he comes back in, when he does come back in, I think he'll play a big part because he's a right centre back player, and the centre back position we've got that sorted with Martinez, or Maguire could play there, but he's a bit slow. So Martinez is centre back, left centre back is Luke Shaw, and then the wing backs is Mazraoui. Either can play left side or right side, and also don't forget we've got Tyron Malacia to come back as well. So we've got enough options there. So you need to work out which is the best team. There's no quick fix. Defence, we need to get that in order first before you start looking elsewhere, and then move into midfield, and then strikers. It's a slow transition. That
Talking about looking into midfield again, the next thing that Ruben Amorim learned in his shocking debut against Ipswich Town is that Bruno Fernandes' position is going to be difficult to really narrow down because, in my opinion, Bruno Fernandes played as one of the two centre attacking mids with Garnacho against Ipswich. He was involved with the build-up for the first goal, Amad Diallo, with some really good play down the right-hand side. Fernandes started it off with a give and go with him. But apart from that, I felt like Fernandes was struggling to get in the game. He wasn't as influential as I thought he could be in one of those number 10 roles. Still the first game, so it could get better. However, I think Ruben Amorim kind of alluded to the fact that Fernandes could be one of the two as the centre mids because he's got that passing ability. He's also said, Ruben Amorim, that Fernandes does tend to try and go for the Hollywood ball a bit too much, so we have to control that. But in this formation, what do you think the perfect position for Bruno Fernandes is?
yeah, for me it'll be number 10 for him, and then Garnacho can't play number 10. He needs to be on a wingers, so he can either play a wing back or just another side right winger. But Mount is also to come back into play as well. So two number 10s I'll have is Mount and Bruno Fernandes. They can swap with each other because Ahmad didn't work as a number 10. Well, he could work as a number 10, but he was on a winger, but he was tracking back too much. So either Ahmad's another choice to play as a number 10, and then centre forwards, Rashford, Højlund and Xerxes, one of them could start. But he's got options there, so he needs to see who's best suited to which position, and that needs to be rectified soon.
I think I've had some time to reflect. I've had some time to think about the whole build-up for Ruben Amorim's first game. And a question has come to my mind. How many days or weeks will it take until we start hearing what we've heard with all the other managers? Ruben out. These words, we laugh right now, but these words will come into play. The question is, when will we start to hear them? Because we've started off with a draw against Ipswich. It's early doors. Look, it's not doom and gloom. I'm not being one of those doom and glooms. But this is not a prediction. This is a spoiler. We are going to hear it, but Ruben Amorim has to learn from his mistakes, or things could get real nasty real quick. If it's the first time you're watching Universal Sports, make sure you do like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know in the comments, what do you think Ruben Amorim learned from his game against Ipswich, and what does he need to do moving forward to make sure that it doesn't end the way it's ended for the managers before. We'll see you on the next one.